Hi everyone. So we've been exploring the concept of self-awareness. We've talked about the beauty of hindsight and knowing our triggers. And today I'm going to talk about self-forgiveness. So when we can't forgive ourselves or others, it's because we can't accept what has happened. So we believe that we or another person should have done something different from what they did. We can't find capacity to forgive or forgive ourselves or another until we find a way to accept that it happened because it did. So, how do we accept things as they happened and not feel like they shouldn't have? Well, so we live our lives. We were born and we die, and it might look like this. But that's a bit boring. You go from A to B. That's not life. I bet a lot of people would say life is more like this, from A to B, and I would say that that's true. That's way more like life. For me personally, I see life as this. So we start here and we end up here, and we go along in life and we have experiences and make decisions and things happen. And so you might be thinking, where's all the crazy up and down stuff in this life? Well, from my point of view, it's there. It's actually perfect. It's part of the whole life cycle to go through all those ups and downs. That's normal. That's life. And so what happens is stuff happens. Maybe some negative stuff happened to you here. But later on in life, you made some different choices you made a choice because you remembered this experience here. And because you remembered that negative experience here, you ended up having a positive experience here because you made a decision remembering last time I was in this situation, it didn't work out well, and I need to do this differently this time. So that's great. That's learning. That's life. Or it can go the other way. You can have a negative experience here, and that may mean that when a situation comes up, you make a negative decision here because you have got a lot of anxiety or remembering a lot of bad stuff that happened, and so you make a decision here that doesn't serve you or others. And so what I'm trying to put across here is that when someone does something to upset you or hurt you or does something completely strange and you just can't believe they did that, it's not done in a vacuum. They've lived a whole life up until that point where they made that decision. And so they're going to make a decision based on their beliefs, experiences, stuff they were taught from their parents, everything like that at that point. And so even though it seems common sense that this person should not, yourself or another, should not have made that decision, in hindsight, it's blaringly obvious how bad that decision was and how much chaos it caused. It's just my belief that, however, even in that hindsight clarity, excuse me, a person cannot actually make a different decision than they do at that moment because of those reasons, because they're going to make a decision based on their whole life and everything that's happened to them up until that point, unless they have enough space and capacity in their life to ask for advice. They might ask an expert or ask for a friend. They might, spend some time mulling it over. Then they may make that better decision. Or they may just think, no, I've, had enough of this bad stuff in my life. I'm going to make this decision now. Whether they make that decision to consult with another, again, is going to be based on what their experience has been so far. So if they have never really done that before, asked someone else, got advice, then they're unlikely to when that situation comes up. Or they might usually be a person that takes their time and makes a good decision, but they were in a really stressful, high-pressure situation and they had to make a snap decision. Again, the decision they made was going to be the decision they made. And because of the time pressure, despite usually being a person that makes much better decisions, they aren't actually going to be able to make a better decision because of that time pressure. So I just want you to keep that in mind when you're thinking about beating yourself up about a decision or someone else's decision. Keep in mind that they've had a whole life of experience and they couldn't make a better decision at the time. That might help you to accept that it happened and find a way to find forgiveness. See ya.